Hey y'all, what's up? This is my 15 and 2 Crystron deck profile. So this is the combination of a few locals that I've gone to. I think I won 3 of them, and then the other ones I just won X1. Mainly just lost because of like bricking slash Lancia. Plus the games I lost were against like the same player who's good. But yeah, this deck profile I think is very, very solid. I think that people have been building Crystron wrong. You really don't need other engines in this deck. What you need is more hand traps, because hand traps win you games. But yeah, this deck is super, super solid, and so I'm just going to be showing it off here. So first off, we play 3 Smiger. This is obviously just a standard ratio. You want to see your starters. Next up is 3 Fafnir. This card's obviously going to pair really well with every single other Crystron monster, so you play 3 of it. Next up, you play 2 Sulfidor. You need more 5s, and this card can sometimes come up at 2. But yeah, you don't want to play 3 of it since it doesn't pair as strongly as like a card like Sulfafnir would. Next up, 2 Tristaros. You have to play 2 of this because you need to be able to play around Nib better. But yeah, this card sucks to draw whenever you're going second, but it's honestly not bad going first. In situational, I think it could be decent going second, but this card just doesn't do anything by itself. Obviously, your opponent's going to need to put some work in for this card to get value, so you just played it 2. Next up, one of Praise-Yordle. This is a new addition to my list. I hadn't been playing this for a while, but I really appreciate the card. If you're opening up Smiger already, being able to dump this is kind of nice. I mean, obviously, you're dumping Cluster a lot of the time, but, like, there's some hands where this is just going to be, you know, the 3rd option that you're dumping or the 4th option that you're dumping. It's nice to get value rather than getting no value and just having to dump, like, another card that's not going to do anything in your graveyard. But yeah, and just drawing random Crystron monsters isn't bad. You know, just drawing this sometimes can still give you, you know, ways to play through hand traps. So this card's definitely, I think, you have to play this. Moving on, the 1 Thistfern. Nothing to be said here. This is just another card similar to Praise-Yordle, except for this one, you really need it for your, like, 1-card combos. But yeah, this is also nice to open up with other Crystron cards. Moving on, the 1 Citri. This is the worst card in the deck, but it does a lot for you. It gives you access to Corian Gandrax, which that card, when it resolves, basically just winning the game. But yeah, this card's very nice, but it's the worst card in the deck to draw. Next up, we have the 1 Title. You really don't have to play more than 1 of this card. I really just like having the 1 boosts consistency a bit. Just anytime I draw this in a Crystron card, I'm like, nice, we're playing through bare minimum 2 hand traps here. But yeah, this card's very solid. It can come up in OTK lines, funnily enough. But yeah, this card's real nice. For the spells in the engine, we play 3 Inclusion. This card's cracked. If you draw it, you're beating Droll. You're beating so much stuff with it. Easily the best 1-card combo, obviously. But yeah, a very good card. Prospy, I think that you have to play this in your Crystron deck. Absolutely mandatory. You don't draw cards at all in your combo, and you have about 6 cards in your extra deck that you will not touch in like 90% of matchups. So this card is just a free look at the top 6 of your cards, grab whatever the hell you want. It's absolutely broken in this deck. You can just grab broken side cards too, post side. Absolutely wonderful. You have to play this card. Foolish, consistency booster. Cluster, this is like the best part of the deck, is just having this available to you. Alright, and then no other engine. No Kashira cards, no Horus cards, no Azamina cards, no Speedroids. All those cards are garbage. If you're drawing those cards instead of hand traps, you're putting yourself in a worse position. So here's the 20 non-engine lineup. We have 3 Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's a mandatory 3 of for 99% of decks. Same with this one. 3 Fualos. Very, very strong card. Obviously, you're just making your opponents end on half boards a lot of the time. or into Malice, you're basically just drawing a bunch of cards and trying to stop them from combo. 3 Nib. This card's super nice into a lot of decks. It's also just a good, like, it's just really good with any other hand trap. It makes, like, Droll, like, kind of good into Malice because if they haven't hard drawn, even if they have hard drawn, like, Ad Ignister cards, you're still probably beating them. So yeah, Nib, nice. 3 Droll. This is like how you respect Mitsurugi, is you just main the Drolls, shuts down that deck from just comboing you to death. You just want to see it at least 1 out of 3 games against that deck, just knowing, you know, you'll have that super high win rate whenever you drop this on them. 3 Droplet. This card's just way too nice in Crystron to not play it. You're not going to be using this card as much just starting your turn, sending a bunch of stuff, shutting down their guys. This is more going to be something where you're hitting like an Omno on summon, or you're hitting like a White Binder trying to banish your graveyard. This card is super, super nice. It's just free negate of whatever their problem card is on their end board. And obviously, you play so many cards that want to be in the graveyard that you're not really going minus on this ever. So yeah, super nice card, mandatory in the Crystron strategy. There's no Super Poly in the list. I think Super Poly is not the worst card ever this format, but I want to be seeing more hand traps because those cards are going to stop my opponent from playing rather than trying to shut down the plays they've already made. 1 Talents, 1 Called By. These are good power 1-ofs. To be completely honest, I feel like these cards even should be more hand traps. These could be ghost spells if you want them to be. But if you draw these going first and your opponent activates a monster in their hand in the main phase, you know you're just winning the game. So they're kind of too nice to not play. And then finally, the 3 Imperms. Just been a staple hand trap for a while. All right, that rounds off the main. That is a clean 40 cards. Now we have the extra deck. We have the 1 High-Speed Roid Chambara. So this just came up in OTKs. I tried to use this card a lot today, and I successfully did so. It helps a ton in OTKs. Yeah, that's all that card's purpose. So this should be Hagoita. I was playing Durendal in my actual list, and I think I summoned that card once in those, 17 games that I played. It was super bad. You're just getting machine locked before you get 2 5s on the field, like, realistically every single time. But this should be Hagoita. That card's just really nice into Ryziel. You're just taking them off 2 bodies for free. Super good. Nothing else to say. Next up, we play 2 Escaletus. This is standard. 2 Don Dragster. This is pretty standard. You just have enough extra deck space where you just want to play the 2. 1 Samurai Destroyer. I'm considering moving this card up to 2 because if your opponent draws 2 Nibs against you, you really struggle. You really struggle beating Nib on the follow-up turn. This deck's pretty bad at putting out damage under 5 summons, and if you've already gone through your Infinity, there's really no way to recover it other than this card. And if you already got nibbed, and then you get nibbed again, you just... terrible position. So you can maybe play this card at 2, to be honest. Corian Gandrax. This card's super nice. It doesn't come up as much as you would think, but whenever it does, you just win the game on the spot. Really nice into Fiendsmith decks. Really nice into Ryziel decks if they're committing bodies. Same with Mitsurugi. Just being able to clear all the bodies off is super, super nice. And then getting like 2 pops off of Cluster. That's usually a game stays. This will come up as like a turn 3, turn 4 kind of card. Next up, we got the Legadia. This is like another situational synchro monster that comes up. It's usually just whenever like you have like enough bodies where you need the pop over like a Don Dragster, and so you can just make this. And then we have the Nova and the Infinity. These are the best cards in the extra deck. They're absolutely broken. This is how you like make plays under Lancia, is you just go into this. Yeah, nothing much to say about those cards. The Typhon, this card wins you a lot of games that you really shouldn't. If Malice is paying too much life and they don't have GWC set up, you can really punish them by like doing Typhon and like bodies and stuff and just trying to like cheese out a win. That happened multiple times in like game states that were just absolutely lost for me. But unfortunately, this card can come up a lot because this card can not come up a lot because you're machine locking yourself. Next up, we have the Clockwork Knight. It's just mandatory, so Smiger becomes a 1 card. You have the SP. This is like also mandatory. It doesn't come up as much as you'd think, especially if you're not playing other engines. This card really does not come up too much. But whenever it does, it's just really, really nice to have. And then the last card is Mechaba. This is really just to punish like bad players for nibbing you on Nova. But to be completely honest, if I was taking this to more of like a higher level event, this would be out of the list for sure. You can make better use of it. Like, you could play Zeus. Zeus is like a decent idea in this deck. You could play... what was the card I was just talking about? What was it? I mean, you could play Vimana. That's another card you could play. You could play the second Samurai Destroyer. That's what I was talking about. But yeah, this card's just to punish bad players, basically, that don't know what your cards do. Next up is the side deck. This is a solid side deck. We play 3 Chaos Hunter. This card plus any hand trap is really, really, really nice into Malice. It's going to win you the game like 90% of the time. Next up, we have the 3 Lancia. Obviously, you need this for the Malice matchup. And then, Duster, 1 Thrust, 1 Salesman. We'll just do the whole Thrust package. 1 Sanctum, 1 Gnomes. This last Sanctum could be anything, but I just wanted like a Thrust target for Malice, since a lot of the main deck hand traps I play aren't very good into it. But yeah, this looks a bit funky, but I do think this is like a very solid like Thrust package. So yeah, this just comes up for like random matchups where you're just gonna want to take out like hand traps that are bad into that deck and then put in like Thrust Salesman, because this is good against like a lot of decks, or like Thrust Duster, and then whenever you're going first, like Thrust Gnomes, Thrust Sanctum. But yeah, like it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird though, because this deck is the main deck I made is so good into Mitsurugi Raizeel. Like, whenever you're going second, this is literally the only card that you side into them. You don't need to side anything else. Obviously, I think it's kind of troll to side these into Mitsurugi, because they're gonna have trap set up, and you just want to draw hand traps against that deck too. But yeah, that's the little 5-card Thrust package. And then we have the 1 Crossout. This card's very nice. Yeah, just going first, just being able to have this is like another way to stop like Nibs, Drolls, Ashes, Imperms, literally anything. Into the Malice matchup, you'll have your Lancias in as well, so you can cross out Lancia, which is really broken. And then finally, we have the Strikes. It's just a god card this format. I just know that if I'm seeing this in like any kind of like half combo, I'm just winning the game. So yeah, this is just absolute god card. I would say I like Strike out of like the 3 Solemns that people are playing right now the most. It just comes up, I feel like really big in these like random niche ways that like the other ones maybe won't hit. I'm just like, it's hard to explain, but it's nice like on like a weird game state where it's like turn 3 and you're like making your plays and you have a set strike for some reason. It's just really nice. Plus, like, the thing is coming up the most is like gonna be just like the summon, and so I would rather have the monster effect instead of like the effect to summon or the spell and trap negate, because you already have so many spell and trap negates in this deck. You'd rather just have monsters. But yeah, that's it. I feel like I really cracked the code on this deck. I feel like you just don't play other engines. You just play your 20-card Crystron engine. You draw 2 Crystron cards every time and 3 non-engine, and you just win the game. It's absolutely broken. But yeah, my experience was basically just... It just felt like cheating. I would basically just hand trap my opponent out of the game every single time, and then I would just 2-card Crystron combo, play through like 2 hand traps, win the game. It was super weird. But yeah, Hope you enjoyed the deck profile. Leave a like, leave a comment, have some discussion on it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed.